The art of war. Why is this important? Well, because it has to do with you. It has to do with me. It has to do with all of us right now on the planet. Have you ever said or done anything in the heat of the moment in anger that you later regretted? See, when we are emotionally reactive and we're angry and we're fearful, we are not thinking critically and we're reacting. That is self-destructive to the person, to us, and to humanity. Because the collective is only as good as the individual members that make it up. So see, there's a very, very vested interest by certain powers that be to keep us emotionally reactive and angry, because as long as we are angry, we are not critically thinking. And not critically thinking, we are emotionally reacting and running to the solutions that they would offer without thinking it completely through, that then lead us right into an agenda that suits the power base but isn't the best for humanity. And that's exactly what's happening on the political stage. Look at politics. Look what happened in America with the impeachment. Look at what's going on in all the different religious groups. This against that, and right? It's being done on purpose. People are being gaslit and triggered on purpose in order to get you not to think. It's being done on purpose. Now, the solution is very simple. The solution was taught by masters. Love thy enemy. That seems so, right? In the Tao Te Ching, there's a great line where it says, and I'm paraphrasing, that the warrior does not rejoice in victory, for how could he rejoice in victory and delight in the slaughter of humans? For he understands that his enemies are not demons, but human beings like himself. Therefore he enters a battle gravely with deep sorrow and much regret, as if attending a funeral. Now, think about that. See, most people are divided based on their environment, their cultural conditioning, what they've had to deal with in their life. The majority of people truly are doing what they feel is in the best interest of everyone. It's just that at times we get so blinded and so locked into our position that we can't listen, and listen and silent have the same letters, to what the opposition is saying. And so therefore, we're not including them in the solutions that we come up with. And usually it pits one culture on the back of another. So if we look at it from a perspective of, I am not against you, or you, or you, or you. I am for that person, that person, that person, and you. I am actually for all of you. And in being for all of you, I want what's best for everyone. And in wanting what's best for everyone, if I see someone that is strayed, or is gone, or is angry, or is in hate, or is lost, I want to bring them back to the light. I want to bring them back into a place of love and concern for everyone, to include themselves. To honor the self, see the reverence and the sacredness in their own being. But in seeing that within yourself, then it naturally gets extended to others. And seeing it in everyone else. And when we can truly begin to love those that we oppose, then we stop having enemies, and we simply have those that are just lost and we want to help on the way. In The Art of War, it says to attack in a way that is undefendable. Well, if we are light and attacking, it simply means that we are dismantling the dark. And what's the best way to dismantle the dark? Love and morality. Because while people will differ on what they feel right is, the base of morality, the base of treating everyone with kindness and respect, is usually pretty much there at the base. There's times we forget it in anger, which is exactly, again, what certain individuals with agendas would want. But that base morality is there. So if I am not picking one political side over another, one religious side over another, and I am simply saying this is where you are lacking a care and concern and respect for this individual, if they attack it, they are only exposing their own error. And those around them will see it. Thus, I do not have to take anyone out, nor is my intention to hurt anyone. It's enough to get them to see, or those around the darkness and those that have it within them to see it so they can say, oh, okay, well, maybe I do have to look at this a little different. And it's not about achieving an outcome. It's about doing the work just for the sake of doing the work. Because when we're emotionally invested in a certain outcome and it doesn't happen, then lots of times people get distraught, get hopeless, want to give up. Thus, they are emotionally codependent on the external world. But when we are doing things for the sake of simply doing what is right, even if we're the last one standing, we will not quit. Because at that point, it's not about changing the world. It's about doing what we can in order to add to the good in creation, simply. I remember when I was going through some serious stuff, and I mean anger at God, I was so mad at what was going on in the world. And I was like, how can you call yourself a loving God and all this chaos is happening? How I'm so done with you. I want nothing to do with God. I want nothing. I'm done with this. I'm going to, and here's the thing. I'm going to be good just for the sake of being good. I'm going to do what I can to make a difference. Because if you're not willing to step in and make things right, then by God, even though I can't handle everything, what little bit I can do, I'm going to do it. And I'm not doing it to please you. I'm not doing it for any other reason other than to add to the light of creation and to help those that are lost. And like a striking bolt of lightning to my knees, and it was as if God said, good, you get it. Because there's plenty of people running around in God's name doing a lot of mean stuff. Stuff that is not in line with love. And it's understandable because it's how they've been conditioned. People have been eternally feared, in fear of their eternal salvation, into embracing wrath, vengeance, jealousy, damnation, righteous vengeance, spiritual traps. And I have had those that attempt to defend it. And again, the only thing it does is expose their own error. Because that is not love. Love is doing what we can with compassion and mercy to bring one back into the light, into harmony with all. That's the undefendable attack. That's our strength. And when we can do that for the sake of no other reason but for doing it for the good for ourselves and for others, then no matter how dark things get, we're the calm in the storm. We never quit. We never give up. It's not about hope at that point. It's about simply doing what's necessary. And if people would realize that that's part of the reason we're here, it's just as much our spiritual evolution, then that becomes the focus, and you're no longer, as I said, emotionally codependent on external circumstances in the world in order to maintain your peace. And so even though it's pure chaos, you realize it's what's necessary to push people to the point until they realize being nasty doesn't work. Trying to control everybody doesn't work. Being hateful and vengeful doesn't work. Not seeing the self as sacred. Not honoring the Divine Mother and the Divine Father as equal. It doesn't work. But for those who think that killing's going to solve it, anger's going to solve it, that all that's going to make things right, well then, you'll be given those experiences to keep you in that state for as long as needed until you finally learn. The only way is through grace, love, compassion, mercy, forgiveness, truth, patience, kindness, perseverance, courage, integrity. In the end, it's all that matters, because it's the only thing we will take with us when we leave here. What we have transformed our consciousness into using the lessons of this life. What wisdom have we gained?